Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, man. So if you're looking to build a house and you want to get a house in Las Vegas, you want to get a house of your dreams and you want to build it from scratch, what you got to do is basically you need to find a plot of land that has the utilities there. That has electricity, it has water, it has gas and sewer, some type. It's up to you if you want gas or if you want to do full electric, but you need to have sewer or at least its own septic system. If it's connected to the city, it's going to be easy for a lot of people. If it has electricity and water, it needs to be stubbed to the land. That a stub to the land is a term. It's a term in real estate that means that everything is put to the property and is ready to be attached at the property by the general contractors who come and work on the plumbing, the electricians who come and do the electrical wiring, and the people who do the water and the sewage. So basically, once you get that done, once you find a lot about that, then what you're gonna do next is basically make an offer on it. And what you want to do is, get in a good offer that's low and leave yourself room to negotiate. Because at the end of the day, a person that's selling the land, they don't know who is on the other side of that offer and who and how much money they have. So they can't turn the deal down, and a good seller will actually counter offer. And you want to get your counter offer to be in the area that's comfortable for you. You want to agree in the area that's comfortable. So for example, if you see a $300,000 piece of property that is vacant land that has electricity, water, and sewer there, and gas, then what you're going to want to do is make that offer for maybe $150,000. Maybe you can offer them $130,000. But if you have access, and maybe you look on Zillow and you see that a year ago they had it listed for maybe $185,000 or $190,000, then throw them an offer somewhere closer to that range, because you knew if they could do it then for that, they might be able to do it now. They have equity in the land now. So what you do is maybe try to get that $300,000 property for closer to, let's say, about $200,000, right? Or if you can even get a $250,000 property and get that down, bargain it down to, let's say, 150,000 or 180. But if you get it around 200K and you want to get a $350,000 house built on top of it, that's going to look very nice. And it's up to you to come up with the design, the blueprints, and you want to do it with the architect. You want to do it with the engineer. So that way they have the exact blueprint that's going to show professionally that you can get everything on that plot of land done in a safe way that's going to be stable. So once you do that, you will get a land surveyor. And if you got an offer out there and they said, hey, we'll let you get this piece of land for $200,000, then what you do is you go ahead and take, let's say, 10 to 20K, put that in escrow, hold up that land, let the seller know that you are serious about closing on that piece of property within the next 60 days. What you do then is in that next 60 days, you get your land surveyor out there, you get your geoengineer out there, you get your environmental engineer out there to make sure the slope is good enough and that the water is not going to affect anything if it rains. That way you're protected by that. You want to have professionals out there. You need that because that's part of your building code for your city. That's part of what needs to be done for a bank to even get you approved for this. You get your schematics drawn out by an architect, engineer. Even you can get a CAD designer to draw them up for cheap. You get everything laid out on that piece of property and you have the blueprints in place. What you do then is you take those blueprints and you take them into the bank and you actually show them that you're having a whole plan. You can get your permits from the city. Once you get your permits from the city, then you come and bring that back to the bank and you show them, hey, look, we've got permits in place. We've got schematics drawn out. This is something that you can look at and actually be able to touch, feel, and see that they'll be able to appraise. That's the most important part. Once they give an appraisal, they're going to be able to say that, hey, once this property is done being built and constructed, it's going to be worth more, significantly more than what it costs to build. If it's going to cost you $500,000 to build it with the whole building company, the contractors, and the developer, including the land, right? $200K for the land, $300K, $350K for the house. Once you pay your down payment, that's going to bring your entire loan you need down to around the $500K range. When it's in that, if you're making good income, if you're making $100,000 a year, by the way that we're teaching you how to make $100,000 a year, then what you do is you show those bank statements, you show that income, and it's okay to have a W-2 job. Because if you work in a similar field for at least 2 years, that's going to qualify you for an FHA loan. That's going to qualify you for a USDA loan. And then you just need the income, and we're providing you ways to get the income every month of over $10,000. So if you're able to follow it and execute right, you're going to be able to make this model work for you. So what happens next is the bank verifies all that information about your finances, and let's say they approve you on that $500,000 loan. The very next day, the landowner gets their money, and that day you can have dirt dug into the ground and get your whole plot of land mapped out for that house that you are going to build. This $350,000 house can have construction started on that day. Once they dig out and they line up everything with spray paint, they put the chalk down, they put the strings down and mark it with 2x4s to show this is the corner of the property, this is where the plumbing is going to be, this is where the sewer is going to be lined up, this is where the water main is, this is where the electricity is coming from. Most of these land and properties in this area in Las Vegas, they're going to have at least the underground power. They're going to have underground. You're not going to see the wires hanging in the ceiling unless you're in a more rural area. You're not going to see the wires on the streets. So they start digging it out. You get your contractors in, and they start coming on schedule. Let's say you have contractors showing up Monday to do the framing, to do the concrete work. Then what happens is that they get their job complete, and the bank's first set of checks start rolling out to pay those contractors. You're going to be working with a few different kind of companies. A company to do the walls, a company to do the roofing, a company to pour the concrete, different companies for electricians, different companies for the water main, different companies for the plumbing. This is going to be an effort out of a lot of different companies to build your dream home, the home of your dream, customized just the way you want it, made off of income you would have never thought you'd be able to do. And what you're doing is that you're investing into something that's going to be immediately getting you your equity, your assets. When that house is done, it's built for $500,000, and that appraiser from the bank is going to come back. It's going to see your beautiful custom home, and they're going to say, wow, this is a $700,000 home. Wow, this is an $800,000 million home, because everything else in this neighborhood is selling at that price, and this is the retail price. So you immediately get $200,000, $300,000 in equity. You can cash out right then and there, sell your property, never have to deal the risk of paying that loan, and you cash out and keep your $300K profit and roll that in and keep it going on another construction.